Well, greetings, Business 20 students. This is Mr.D, and this is week number 7 of our 8-week course in business mathematics here at Norco College. And this week we're going to be looking at financial statements as well as a little bit into business statistics. So we kind of touched on financial statements a little bit in last week's Zoom session. If you had a chance to watch that on chapters 16 and 17, I did go over the two primary financial statements, which is a balance sheet and an income statement. And I was explaining how inventory kind of impacts both of those statements. So this week, what you're going to be doing is working on what's called horizontal and vertical analysis of income statements and balance sheets. And this is where you're either comparing the different categories within a balance sheet or income statement with your total assets or total liabilities or your total income. If it's an income statement, or you're going to do a horizontal analysis where you're actually comparing two different years, like maybe 2015 compared to 2016, and what's the percentage of change between those 2 years. So you're going to be doing a lot of that kind of stuff in this week's work. And then there'll be a little bit on business statistics, which you'll cover the mean, the medium, the mode, and then the range, and then you'll do a small frequency distribution chart, which is really just breaking data into some categories and then charting it on a histogram. So it's really pretty simple. So they're nothing super earth-shattering or anything like that, but I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And here I am in our course homepage as I select our class from the dashboard. And I'm going to come down here. We're in module 4, so we have 2 weeks to go. We started our 4th module today. And so again, we're looking at financial statements and ratios on chapter 15 and then chapter 21 on business statistics. Remember, there is a read me first. There is a help Sienna as well, so make sure you read and mark those as done. And then you have, of course, this video you're watching right now. But when you go into the different chapters on or the study pages for these, I've already done a video right here of me working out some of these principles, so how to do the vertical and horizontal analysis. There's also some ratios. There's probably about 15 different ratios, and they're really just formulas, but each ratio shows you something a little bit different about the health of your business. So it might be debt to asset ratio, it might be debt to equity ratio, things like that. So those are important factors to figure out and to learn how to mathematically compute, because they're going to be what people will look for when they're trying to determine, and what you should be looking for when you're trying to determine the health of your business. And it's going to be based off of data in the income statement and balance sheet, and you use the data to plug them into the formula that will give you the various ratios. So that's what you'll be covering. That's actually section 15.7. So you are going to cover 15.1, 15.2, 15.3, 15.4, 15.5, 15.6, and then 15.7, and that's it. There is a PowerPoint as well, and there's some videos on how to do the analyses based on YouTube videos if you want to look at those, if you need a little additional help. So that's chapter 15, and then chapter 21, as I mentioned, is going to be on business statistics. And so you're going to be looking at only sections 21.5, 21.6, 21.7, 21.8, and then you're going to do a brief frequency distribution in 21.9. These are all fairly simple, and so you'll be able to figure them out. And I also, again, have a video right here of me working them out, so please reference those videos. And not only that, but I will be doing a Zoom session on Wednesday at 10:30 this week. And if you're watching this video in a different session, that video is here now, right here, where you can view that video. So that's what you'll be working on. I'm going to go ahead and go back to modules for this week. Of course, there is a formula sheet for those, especially for all the ratios. So you're going to want to look at that. Here's the Zoom session. If you want to join me on Wednesday, you can. And then, of course, you have your check-in assignment. Your check-in assignment is, again, helping Sienna. She has some questions about her financial statement and the health of her business, as well as some statistical questions to answer. So you're going to help her do that by doing the check-in assignment. It's due on Thursday if you want feedback from it. If you don't want any feedback, then it's not due until next Sunday. And then, of course, we also have the case study that we're starting, a new case study. So this is our 4th and final module. So you finished your case study from last week on inventory. I think it was on, actually it's right up here, finished case study number 3. So don't forget inflation was the topic. And I'm going to go ahead and move that. That should have been moved down here. And anyway, that was the one on inflation. It's where you were going to be, I think, purchasing some land or building a building or something that cost $5 million or $2 million, and you needed, and you had some money today to invest. So you wanted to figure out how much interest you were going to earn over that period of time while you were waiting, and then how much would you need to put away every 3 months for the next few years in order to have enough to do the project. So you're going to do a sinking fund. So it's kind of a 2-part. You had to figure out compound interest and then figure out a sinking fund. Well, as you move into this week's, you're going to do inventory valuation. So this one, you're going to actually be calculating the 3 different methods of inventory: FIFO, LIFO, and average cost. And then you're going to be plugging that in to an income statement. And so you need to know how to fill out an income statement, and you need, of course, to know how to do the 3 different inventory. And that's what you learned last week and then this week. So that's what you'll be doing. Actually, last module you learned inventory, so it kind of carries over into this one. And then there's financial statements here. So anyway, make sure you study the chapter, do the study pages, take the quiz, do the check-in assignment, and then you can start your case study. It should be pretty easy after this week, because it's basically an income statement, which you'll be learning about this week, and it's inventory, which you learned about last week. So, and then we'll head into our final module, or our final week, not our final module, our final week next week, which is not a full week. It ends on Saturday, but you do have only 1 chapter to cover next week, which is chapter 20. So anyway, so that's it for this week. If you have any issues or questions, let me know. If not, join me on Wednesday for the Zoom session. The link is in the modules page. Actually, it's right here. So you just click that link and it'll bring you to it'll actually launch once you click that, and then it'll launch the Zoom session. So you can meet me in there at 10:30 on Wednesday, and I'll be going over how to do the horizontal and vertical analysis, as well as a few of the different ratios, and then we'll talk a little bit about statistics. So, all right, well, have a great week, everyone. If not, have a great second to the last week, and